Wow. This is actually bringing a tear into my eye. Wow. 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 Wow, man. I want to do a basic Royal Rumble review where I just go over the entire show. But I would be just wrong if I didn't mention the aftermath of Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Without a shadow of a doubt, this has been the best wrestling storyline in the history of any wrestling company. The Sami Zayn bloodline storyline has just worked to an absolute perfection. And I've never been so shocked by a turn until now. I've seen some shocking heel turns. I've seen some shocking face turns. I've seen some backstabs. I've seen a lot of different things in my lifetime, but this is number one in terms of all-time wrestling moments, in terms of all-time face turns, in terms of all-time shocking moments. Like, we knew it was coming at some point. We just didn't know when. And it worked out perfectly. I'm going to do the rundown just as quick as I possibly can. First off, men's Royal Rumble match, absolutely awesome. Cody winning was the perfect decision. Just unbelievable how the match was so fluid, how the match was handled so well, with so many different storylines and so many different combinations working out so well. Drew and Sheamus working together at one point. There were great showings by Johnny Gargano. Gunther is a future world champion. I believe he's going to win the world championship this year. I don't think it's going to be a time that it's going to be more weighted on. Like, Gunther's going to win the world championship. 70 minutes in the Royal Rumble, it's unprecedented. That's as good as a performance as you can get. That's absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable performance. Loved every bit of it. Loved every bit of the Rumble match. A lot of people hated the Rumble match for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why people would hate the men's Rumble. It was a really good Rumble. It was a really good Rumble. In terms of me, it's a top 5 Rumble, up there with 2008, 2020, 2021, 2001. It's a top 5 Rumble. It eclipses, for me, 1992, which I have watched, and it's a really, really good Rumble with the storyline of Flair. For me, best Rumble, probably the best Rumble out of the third best Rumble of the 2020s. I'd say 2020 and 2021 are number 1 and 2, and there's still some more. And just that was unbelievable. Pitch Black match, another great, unbelievable kind of concept. More of a squash, kind of not a squash, but a really good, really, really good like effect kind of match with like just the special effects and stuff of Bray and LA Knight. It was something that the fans could tolerate, and at the same time, like, us watching at home was something that we could enjoy. The entrance of Bray was unbelievable. LA Knight's, real first pay-per-view showcase match, not bad. I believe he's going to get another chance to really showcase himself even more very soon. It's not like this is the end of LA Knight. The loss is going to derail him. He's hot right now. I think he's going to continue his momentum. Bray is definitely going to ride an all-time high for the next several months as he's just continuing to be the best damn thing. The top babyface in WWE. For sure. Raw Women's title match, probably the least effective match on the card, which wasn't too bad though. It's saying much because the Rumble was really good. This Rumble was really good. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, quick match. Showcased just pretty much just how good those two are in the ring. Bianca retaining, right decision. There was a little bit of a end with the evil Bliss coming to her senses in a way, but it was pretty solid. I think they're going to continue with Alexa Bliss returning to her demon kind of phase when she was with Bray, and joining forces with Uncle Howdy and Bray should be something that should be refreshing for her. The Women's Rumble was fantastic. It was one of those it wasn't like the Men's Rumble where it's just like one of those, we're gonna rely on just the people of just not filling up the ring, but really showcasing just like it's all about just hanging in there, the grit more so than endurance. This Rumble was about endurance, so it just really showed just how much importance there was in that match of just lasting as long as you possibly could. Rhea winning absolutely got me stoked. I wanted her to win a Rumble ever since the very first day I saw her. She is a top tier performer. If, in my opinion, the best women's wrestler. It doesn't get that much time. It doesn't get that much time to showcase that. But when she does, she is on the top of her game. Her strength is unbelievable. Her athleticism is unbelievable. Her in-ring ability is unbelievable. She is unmatched. Give her both titles. I don't care. Rhea deserves it. She's on the run of her career. And that's saying something when she was NXT Women's Champion, Raw Women's Champion. Maybe she could be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Get a rematch with Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair, or the titles might change at some point. But Rhea deserves to be Women's Champion again. And I say this, give her both titles because she can dominate for months to come. And then we had, oh my God, this main event, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Brutal. Heart-stopping. And at the same time, simple and effective. It didn't have to go too long because we've already seen what these two can do in the ring. It didn't have to be short because it would just ruin just all the kinds of momentum that they were building up throughout the number of months since War Games. And it was good. It was a really good match. It's a lot of drama. There was just the end of the match is unbelievable, where Reigns just brutalizes KO so bad to the point where it's just like you just can't help but just continue to not look, but just still look, because it's unbelievable what Roman was doing to KO at that moment. And it was traumatizing to say the least, because it wasn't just traumatizing to watch as a fan, but traumatizing to watch when you see Sammy's reaction at ringside. Just was like, no, just end it. And KO was getting brutalized. He took two head shots on the steel steps when he was just pulled back, and it was just brutal because we've seen it before and it's happened before, and it's horrible. It's a horrible sight when somebody gets their head just banged on the steps, but it's a brutal thing to watch it twice, and then a spear through the barricade and another spear. It was unbelievable. But the end of the match, that part is going to be something. And then you get to the after part. You get to the final closing minutes of the pay-per-view. And when I tell you this, it's the best closing angle to a pay-per-view all time. It's number one. We've seen some all-time great ending pay-per-views, all-time great pay-per-view ends with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. It's one that comes into my mind. Money in the Bank 2011 is another great pay-per-view ending. NXT takeovers, unbelievable. With the turn by Tommaso Ciampa. AEW has had some great ones. TNA has had some great ones. New Japan has sure had some great ones. This is number one. You just can't help but feel heartbroken. And at the same time, be so invested, be so driven to just watch the entirety of that unfold. Sami Zayn watching his best friend get brutalized, get destroyed, get just mercilessly broken and beaten down by Roman and the Bloodline. And while they were beaten down, while the Usos and Solo was beating down KO, then Roman was about to finish him off with the chair. Sami steps in and says, "That's enough. It's enough. End it. It's over. It's beneath you." And Roman just heated. He just felt like he just said, "End it. End it. This is your family. We are your family now. You want the main event. You want all of it. This is how you get it." And Sami, with tears coming down his eyes, apparently, couldn't see, and the emotions coming out of him when he didn't want to swing that chair. He didn't want to hit the chair on KO. Roman left him with a choice. He said, "Finish it off. Do what you need to do." And Sami swings the chair on the Roman Reigns. The amount of just shock that went through my body when I saw that happen. God, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. They were doing it at this moment. And you know what? It was perfect. Sami swung the chair. And then the next thing you know, the guy that's had his back beforehand, Jimmy Uso, super kicks him. And a beatdown. It just felt like it was building and building and building and building for many of months. It felt like for not just Jimmy apparently, but for, of course, Solo Sikoa. Just commenced on Sami, and Roman just saying, "I gave you everything. I gave you family. I was your family. I gave you what you wanted. I gave you strength. I gave you hope. And this is how you repay me." And Jay just looks on. Somebody who had a beef with Sami from day one, until he said that he loved him like a brother on Monday Night Raw. Looked on. Couldn't believe it. Shocked. Hurt. Walks away. Walks away. Not even walks away. Just walks out of the ring. Leaves the ring. Hurt. In shock that they're doing this to Sami. His brother in his heart. And the beatdown just continues and continues and continues. There's the chance of "fuck you, Roman." That's levels of heat that you will never, ever see in wrestling ever again. That's how you know something was going down. Something worked. This storyline worked. The amount of just disbelief, the hate, the shock from the commentary position. When I tell you this is probably the most emotional I've ever felt about a wrestling storyline or anything particular in wrestling, I'm telling the truth. Because that worked out superbly. I wouldn't have changed not a single thing about that. I wouldn't have changed a single thing about it. People are probably going to be upset because The Rock didn't show up. But I just had a feeling I had a feeling that he wasn't going to be there. He said it himself. The reports said it themselves. Like he wasn't feel like he was in ring shape to get back. And you know what? You can't be mad at what you're about to get right now. There is so much that just worked in this, and it's so absolutely beautiful what this storyline has produced. KO handcuffed, trying to fight back, but he just can't. Super kicked again by Jimmy, with the bloodline just walking away. Sends Jey Uso. Roman looking on and just hurt. It's all you feel in that segment. All you feel is just hurt, shocked, and in disbelief. Man, what a show. What a show. Overall, Royal Rumble, if you had to really just say that this overall is a pay-per-view, how the Royal Rumble was, this was a fantastic show. I would say, consistency-wise, it's a top 3 pay-per-view in the Rumble history. Top 5 pay-per-view, possibly all time. This show didn't need The Rock. This show really didn't need too many surprises. This show just needed fluidity. And we got more than just fluidity. WrestleMania is about to be something crazy. And we are on the road, baby. We are on a long road to the biggest show of the year in Hollywood, California. But what's next? I have no clue. What will be Sammy's response? How will Roman respond? What is going through the mind of Jey Uso? Monday Night Raw. People will find answers.